All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing this morning? We are going to get started right now. Come on, come on. Give me what I want here. All right. So, the reason we are here today is because we're going to be working on Premium Collection UBI Income Strategy. All right. So, out on the little marquee out front, the little message that said what we're going to be talking about. Most people, when they invest in the stock market, they have two thoughts in mind. Oh, I'm going to put money into this stock and I'm going to hold it until I die. All right. I'm going to hold it till I retire. And then I'll start taking money out and live off of it. Okay. Do that. Nothing wrong with that. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about taking money out of the market today to live on, not when we're old and can't walk across the floor because our feet hurt, back hurts. We're going to take money out today while we can still walk. All right. Some of us can still walk. Some of you can still walk. All right. While some of you can still walk. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn about how to live off of the stock market. And we're going to do it in several ways. We've got two parts to this. The first part is that we're going to learn how to do it with options. All right. And you're like, oh, man, is this another options class? Yes, it is. Why is it an options class? Because we're going to learn how to live off the market today, how to make income. The simple and easiest way is not day trading. All right. We do day trading tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll do day trading. And you can live off the market that way too. But day trading takes a lot more skill than this. What I'm going to show you today, not a lot of skill. All right. Pretty simple stuff. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to live off of the market today. Now, most people don't need to completely live off of the stock market. This is the point that a lot of people don't understand. I have people come to me all the time and they're like, Lan, I got to make $10,000 a month or else, trading's not worth it. Okay. What are you going to do instead? Well, my job gives me, $5,000 a month, but I need 10,000 to quit my job, and I gotta have 10,000 a month. Okay, all right. But most people aren't that hard headed. Most people can say, look, I got a little bit of money coming in. Whether you're already retired and you got Social Security coming in, maybe you got a pension. Maybe you got some money coming in from savings. Maybe you've done pretty good in the stock market over time. You've saved up a couple $100,000. You're worried about running out of money. That's always a fear, a concern, right? And you just need a little extra. If I just had an extra $1,000 a month, that would be life-changing to me, right? A lot of people tell me that. Man, if I just an extra $500 a month, man, I could put an extra few things in the grocery basket. So how can I kind of consistently bring in maybe $500 or $1,000 a month with a small account? I don't have a lot of money. I don't want to risk a lot. And I don't want to day trade. I don't want to be sitting here all day trading. How can I add an extra maybe $500 or $1,000 a month to my bottom line? That's what I want to talk about today. All right. There's a couple of ways you can do that. And I want to do it with a small amount of money. Okay. We're going to talk about how to do it with a small amount of money. And a small amount of money means that you're not going to be making $100,000 a year off of it. You're not going to be making $10,000 a month. All right. Sorry, we're going to talk to the people who want to add an extra $300, $400, $500 a month to their bottom line. Just be able to take a little bit of money. It's kind of like a little part-time job. So this is what we're going to talk about today. How to have just a little premium collection, a little part-time job. And it's the simple and the easiest way I know how to do it in the stock market. There's no simpler, easier way. Well, maybe the UBI income strategy might be a little simpler, easier way, but it does take a little bit more money. So we're going to do this the simple, easy way. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk to you about a simple, very simple buy and sell strategy. All right. I want you to walk away from the stock market for just a minute and not think about stocks. I want you to think about an insurance company. Okay. And so an insurance company is a company that insures other people, right? They'll come in and you like, I bought a car, Lan. I bought my new Tesla and I'm worried I might crash it. Even though I got FSD and it drives by itself. In fact, that might make it so I worry about it crashing more. No, it's the other way around. I got FSD. I got full self-driving. My wife gets mad at me when I turn it off. Turn the FSD back on. I don't trust you to drive. I trust the car. It's really that good. It really is. Tesla's amazing. All right, that's enough of that sideline. But nonetheless, you have to buy car insurance, right? Well, there's a company that you pay that money to every month. Now, whether you crash your car or not, you're going to pay them money every month. Every month, you have to write a check to the insurance company. Now, you're going to drive as careful as you can because you don't want to crash, right? And so the whole idea is that you're going to not crash more than you are going to crash. Makes sense, right? Insurance isn't supposed to be there to be collected on every single month. You don't cry at the end of every, well, maybe you do, but you don't cry at the end of every month because you didn't collect on your insurance policy, right? You're happy you didn't collect on your insurance policy. Oh, I paid that $150 for my fancy car to insure it in case I crashed, and I didn't crash. Oh, yay, I'm happy. You're happy? You paid $150 and didn't collect? Yeah, I'm happy because I didn't crash. That's a good thing, right? Oh, I didn't crash, so I didn't have to collect on my insurance policy. We all understand that concept. It's very easy concept to understand. Well, who's getting rich off of you driving, having a good driving record, driving well, and not crashing? The insurance company. The insurance company's getting rich from you not crashing your car. Why? Because you keep giving them $150 every month, $50 every month. I don't know what your rate is. $500 a month. I don't know. It depends on how bad of a driver you are, right? What kind of a risk you are. How risky of a risk is it for the insurance company to insure you? Oh, you're a good driver. You've never crashed. Oh, you're really good. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. You get a lower rate, right? So you can get a lower rate. You can get a higher rate. Depends on how much you crash. So the whole idea is to crash less. And most people don't crash very often. Okay. I mean, that's kind of the trend. Most people don't crash very often. If we crashed all the time, we probably wouldn't drive, right? I mean, that's the whole idea. So now I want to come in and I want you to think about being an insurance company in the stock market. All right. We're going to collect premium and hope that the market doesn't crash. Okay. Markets don't crash all the time. They don't crash very often. In fact, if you look at the historical nature of the market, let's go look at the S&P 500. And we're going to pull the S&P up and we're going to go out and we're going to look at a monthly chart. All right. Now, a monthly chart means that each price bar represents 1 month. And see how far back we can go. We can go clear back to 2009. We can even go back farther than that. Look at this. We can go clear back here, clear back to the beginning of December 1st, 1992. And there are times where the market crashes. See that? Where the market goes down a little bit. But overall, come on, stop scaling on me. Overall, the market, right? The market goes up. That's what it's done. And it's been going up a lot lately. I mean, nice run here, little crash here, nice run here, little crash there, nice run there. So what we're going to do is we're going to be an insurance company for people who are worried about the market crashing. Now, we want to be good about it. We want to be smart. All right. And we want to do our own analysis on the markets. And we want to know when it's the right time for us to insure the market. So we're going to put on an insurance policy that says the market's not going to fall. Or we can put on an insurance policy that says the market is going to fall. And we can make money either way. We don't care whether the market falls or not. We can make money when the market goes up with insurance, and we can make money when the market goes down with insurance. Okay? So all we have to do is get good at deciding when the market's going to go up or down. Now, we're not very good at it, right? Nobody knows whether the market's going to go up or down. So what we do is we say, well, you know what? We're only going to insure really good traders. All right. We're not going to insure lousy traders. How's that sound? Just like the insurance company. The insurance company, they can walk in and they say, you know what, Len, you had 14 crashes last year. No deal. No bueno. All right. No cash for you. No insurance for you. All right. Or they can come in and say, hey, Len, oh, you haven't crashed in 25 years. You're a pretty good bet. I think we'll insure you and maybe even give you a little lower premium. We won't make as much, but our risk isn't as high either because, hey, you haven't crashed in 25 years. That's pretty good driving record. I think we could trust you. And so we could insure that insurer, all right, that guy, that trader in the stock market in the same way. We can go in and we can say, well, oh, Len, you're a good trader. You've made money consistently in your trading for the last, however many years. You're pretty good at this. I think we'll give you some insurance. We'll do that. Oh, yeah, you've lost money every time you traded. We ain't insuring you. All right. Did you know you can do this in the stock market? You can be the insurance company instead of the one that's trading. We're not going to trade. We're not trading. All right. We're not going to sit there and worry about, oh, is the market going up? Is the market going down? Nope. We're just going to insure the insurers. All right. Now we're going to be specific about it. We need to be a little bit smart. All right. These insurance companies are not dumb. All right. They don't just go out and randomly start throwing money around to people and have random prices. Oh, how much you going to insure me for? Oh, I don't know. Let's see what's my little card say today. Oh, maybe we'll give you this rate. No, that's not how it works. These guys are very sophisticated about how they put their money on, right? How much risk they're willing to take for each individual driver. And so they know whether they're going to make money or not. Now, they don't know all the time, right? Because there are some unknowns. There's always some unknowns. There's, especially in, houses, or you're insuring houses and maybe a tornado comes along and tears a bunch of them up and you have a bad month, or, there's an earthquake and crushes everybody's cars with trees falling on them and they have to pay a bunch of money out. So there are those times and you can't plan for those. All right. So you just have to kind of realize that you're going to have times where you're going to have to pay some insurance premium out. So that's the nature of the beast, right? But we can just insure the very best drivers, the very best traders, and then take the very smallest risk and make a small amount of money. I'm not talking about making a lot of money here. Right? I'm talking about making a small amount of money, something that we can supplement, give us a little bit of income, maybe $500 a month. Does that sound good? All right. How would that feel if you just had an extra $500 a month coming in? All right. So that's kind of the idea. We're not here to try and now, could you take this and say, Lan, I'm going to do the same thing, only with more money, and I'm going to make $10,000 a month doing just the exact same thing, but just with a bigger wad of money? Well, yeah, sure. Of course you could do that. But I'm not talking to those people. All right. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the guy that wants to make an extra $500 a month or something. All right. And we're going to take very little risk doing it. Not that there's not risk. There is. Not that we don't have to have a little bit of smarts under our belt. We do. We have to have a little bit of knowledge. All right. It's not free money. Still a little job. If you have a job, even if you go to the gas station, there's a learning curve. You have to learn how to pump gas. You have to learn how to count money. You have to learn how to take people's money, and you have to learn how to sell them a bag of potato chips, right? And you have to put the time in. You have to go in and you have to do a little bit of work. It's not hard, but it's not easy either, right? Nothing's easy in life. So if you're going to do a little bit of trading to make that be your business, then I want you to concentrate on it, think about it like a business, and you're going to have a little bit of learning curve. And we're going to get you started today. We're going to show you how it works. All right. And then you're going to have to take a little bit of time, effort, and energy to put in get the right tools. If you don't have the right software to do it, you got to get the right software. You got to spend money to make money. It's a business, and you're going to start a little business. That's what you're going to do. All right. So we're going to come in here and we're going to use some of these great big, massive funds, companies that we love. All right. Now, some of ththese companies are going to cost us a lot of money to participate and do this with, some of them less. So it takes money to make money. All right. It takes money to make money, but there's funds, there's money, there's companies that cost less. So for example, let's look at Amazon in here. If we're going to insure some traders in Amazon, now think about it as a trader. Let's think about the other side of this market. As a trader, you come in here and you're like, well, I think the market's going to go up, so I'm going to put some money in here. But what if it goes down? Most traders don't buy insurance, right? They don't know how. They're just like, oh, I'm going to buy some Amazon, and if it goes up, I'll make money. If it goes down, I'll lose money. Well, did you know you don't have to do it that way? I'm going to buy some Amazon, and if it goes down, I'm going to buy some insurance so that I don't lose as much money. Now, yes, you have to pay for some insurance. It costs you a little bit of money, so you don't make as much money if it does go up because you had to pay for the insurance. But you do it with a car. You do it with your house. You're like, oh, my house is going up in value. I'm not going to insure it so I can even make more money. How wise is that? All right. Oh, my car, I'm not going to insure it. I'm going to drive around uninsured. How smart is that? You pay, well, I only have to pay $500 a month for my car payment. That's a pretty good car payment. If I buy insurance, now my insurance, that's $150 a month. I ain't paying that. No way. I ain't paying that. Doesn't make sense, right? Why? First of all, it's the law. You have to. Okay. But even in situations where you don't have to, it makes sense to buy a little bit of insurance to cover your downside. right? So if we're going to be traders, the smart traders actually protect themselves to the downside so that if the market does flush down, because it does on occasion, we all know the market goes down, well, they have a little bit of insurance that they buy along the way. Well, we're going to sell them that insurance. All right. Now, that means that we're going to trust that the market's not going to fall too far, right? It's not going to come crashing down. So we have to be a little bit better at kind of deciding when that's going to happen. Well, watch the news. You guys are all news hounds anyway. Watch the news. You're going to watch the news. And then you're going to watch, and you're going to also watch the markets. It's more important to watch the charts than it is to watch the news. All right. But nonetheless, the news, especially the news like the mainstream media news, those guys aren't there to help you trade. Those guys are there to sell you new cars and soap. And they just need, after this message, come right back. And we're going to tell you the most important thing that's going to make you rich, rich, rich beyond your wildest dreams. But go watch this. Use this new car salesman sell you a new car before you come and learn about how to become rich, rich, rich beyond your wildest dreams. That's how they get rich, is selling you advertisements for new cars. Don't listen to those guys. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. I don't care how smart they think they are or how smart they were in the past. I don't care. They're there to sell you cars and soap, right? So they're not there to help you with the stock market. So you can get more information about the stock market from just government, just like the government news that comes out, which is the same thing they have to wait for, and just looking at the chart, learning how to read price charts. All right, it's the most important thing, because all of the fundamental information, all that news, all that stuff, it's already built into the price of chart. By the time you hear it, it's too late. All right, what everybody knows isn't worth knowing. So listening to the news really isn't going to do you much good. All right, but for overall long-term trends, you can kind of get a good feel or a good feel of how markets are going. And so right now we got a situation where markets are doing really well, right? We're in that Trump train and breaking all kinds of rules and going straight up right now. This is kind of the problem that we have. The market won't dip, so we can't buy more. That's kind of a problem. We want to get into this market. We're like, well, where the hell am I going to get in? Barely getting little tiny dips in here, right? Markets are going to the moon. So we got that problem. The problem now is we can't get in. We're not getting any signals for entry because the market's already gone to the moon. All right. When's it going to dip a little bit for us so it come down so we can make some money, get in? All right. So the whole idea is that we're going to insure these guys who are getting into the market. So let's go look at Amazon, because Amazon's kind of a good little market right here. Look, we kind of like this, kind of like markets that are going sideways. That's all right. That's nothing wrong with that. This, when you insure a market that's going sideways is a good market, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to come in, and the way that people, what they do when they think that the market might fall and they're in the market, let's say that a trader comes in and he buys this market right here, and he gets in with 100 shares of Amazon. All right. So he puts in $24,000 into his Amazon, or he's built up $24,000, and he's starting to get a little nervous. He's like, well, for whatever reason, he thinks Amazon might take a little bit of a dump. And he's not too sad about it because, it gives him the opportunity to buy some more down here lower. But for whatever reason, he's a little bit worried, and he's a smart trader, and he's not trying to be, crazy and trade without insurance or drive his $40,000, $50,000, $80,000 truck without any insurance. All right. He's smart. He knows he needs to have insurance. So he comes in, and what he does is he buys a put option. All right. So very easy. He just comes in and he buys a put option. And he says, I need some insurance. I'm just going to buy 38 days worth of insurance. It's just a month, right? We buy insurance every month. That's kind of how it works. It's pretty traditional. If you're going to buy insurance for your car, you have a monthly payment. So we're going to use monthly payments in here, and he's going to come in at 38 days. I like to use the ones that are dark in here. You can go to 31 days, but the ones that are darker have more volume, more open interest, more people trading it. So there's more opportunity to get in, less expense. Okay, so we're going to use the 38 days. And you can see all these down here that are dark in track and trade. Those are the ones you want to be trading, all right? Already been picked out for you. So all you do is come in and pick the most darkest one. You don't want 3 days. We need more than 3 days of insurance. We want 38 days worth of insurance. We're going to come in here. Now think about it like you're the trader. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy a put. All right, so we're going to come in here, and we're going to buy a put in here. Well, I'm going to put my put right down in here. All right. Now, to buy that put, it's going to cost me $290. Now, remember, I got $24,000. So think about it like a car. I got a $24,000 car. That's what you paid for this stock, right? And I, over time, expect that stock to go up in value. But if it doesn't, I'm going to put a little insurance policy on there of $290 for this month. $290 insurance. You're like, wow, man, that's a lot of insurance for a $24,000 car. Well, don't pay as much for it then. Come down here, take a little bit bigger risk, right? Now it's only $200. Well, I only want to pay $50 for my insurance policy. Okay, we'll come all the way down here. There's a $54 insurance policy right there. Okay. So you can buy better insurance, right? Or you can buy crappy insurance. You got a $24,000 car. Are you going to buy crappy insurance on it, or are you going to buy good insurance on it? Well, it was a $100,000 car when I bought it. It's only worth $24,000 now. Okay, you probably don't need, the greatest insurance. It's up to you. I mean, if you can afford a $100,000 car and it's only worth $24,000, you might, want a little bit. You might feel like you don't need the greatest insurance. You're not going to replace a $100,000 car with insurance. They're only going to give you $24,000, so you don't need to insure it as if it's a $100,000 car anymore, right? Because even if they collect on your insurance, well, they ain't going to pay you $100,000. They're going to pay you what your car's worth, $24,000, right? If they total it, or they might just fix it, right? Give you a little bit of money. Hey, you're happy now. You got some money to go fix the dent in the car. That's how this works. This is just an insurance policy that can give them a little bit of money. They're still going to have a deductible, right? The deductible is the difference when you're trading between where the market's currently trading and where you insured it at. So in this $24,000 car that you bought, $24,000 worth of Amazon, you have, with this insurance policy, you have a $5,000 deductible. Is that logical to you? Well, I guess $5,000 deductible. If I crash my $24,000 car, I'm only liable for $5,000 of it. I have to pay wow, that's a little bit more than I want to pay. I don't think, Len, I don't want to have to pay $5,000 if I crash my $25,000 car. Okay, well, how much are you good for? Well, I like a deductible of about $1,000. 1,000? Okay. Well, we're going to take our little dollar calculator in here, and we're going to come in. We're going to say, you want a deductible of $1,000? Well, that's about right there. If the market falls with $24,000, that's $1,000. Okay, so $24,000 falling to that point. Anything below that, you want insurance for. Okay, so what you do is you put your insurance policy at $1,000 right there. Well, that's a $692 premium. It's going to cost you $692 to put on that insurance policy to protect you with $1,000. Well, okay. I'm a pretty good driver. I'm better than a $1,000 driver. And if the market, I don't think the market's going to really come down here. And that's what you're insuring against, right? You're insuring against the market falling below whatever that green line is. That's really what you're doing. That's your insurance policy, and that's your deductible. The deductible is the amount of money between where the market's currently trading and where that green line is, and versus the premium that you have to pay for that insurance policy. So you're like, well, okay, I'm going to come down here a little bit farther. Maybe I'll pay I don't think the market's going to come down and break new lows. So I'm going to put the insurance policy right at new lows right here. Okay, well, if you don't think the market's going to come down there, then you don't have to insure against it coming down there. All right. It might move around in here a little bit. That's what it's been doing. But if it breaks down here, you might want a little insurance, because if it breaks these new lows, well, it might come tumbling down farther, right? But as long as it stays above that green line, well, I don't need any insurance for that. I'm okay with it up there. I'm okay with that for the next 38 days, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to insure. And that's the idea, right? That's the idea of what you're doing here. Your deductible on this is now $2,913 against your $24,000 window. All right, $24,000 investment. So your $24,000 investment is protected. It will not lose any money below that red line or that green line for the next 38 days. And that's going to cost you $213 of insurance. Now, if the market goes up, great, you make all kinds of money. If it just kind of wanders around in here, that's fine too. At the end of the 38 days, you're going to have to decide if you want to buy another insurance policy for the next 30 days. All right. That's how traders think when they're trading. That's how they use put options to protect themselves as an insurance policy. Okay. Now, what if the market doesn't fall below that green line? Same thing that happens if you don't crash your car. You paid your premium and you don't have to exercise your right to collect on it, right? You didn't have to go into the insurance company and say, hey, I crashed my car. I'm going to need you to give me some money. Well, the deductible is $2,913 on that $24,000 car of yours. So anything above $2,900 on the damage is what we'll pay. Oh, okay. And you paid $211 for that, right? So take your car down to Body Beauty Auto Body, right? Have them give you a quote on what it's going to cost, how much you duffed it, how badly you crashed, and we'll pay the difference between $2,913, right? And whatever it costs to fix the car, up to $24,000. We'll insure the whole $24,000 if we need to. Oh, okay. All right. So I'll go down and get a quote. What does that mean translated into the insurance company? Well, to the insurance company, anything below the green line is what they're going to have to insure. Okay. So let's say the market actually does fall. Let's say it comes all the way down here and hits that purple line at that level there. Well, that's $5,000. Well, you crashed your $24,000 car. You lost $5,000. You have a $2,913 deductible that you paid $215 to cover. And so they're going to give you $5,000, right? But you have to pay $2,900. So actually you get $2,000 minus $215. Who's making more money here? So it looks like the insurance company's got a pretty good deal going, don't they? They only have to pay you above your deductible, which is $2,000, and you paid them $200 for that $2,000 protection. Well, now what if the market went down farther, Lan? Okay, well, that's true. Market could have come down here, and then they would be on the hook for the full amount, right? They'd be on the hook for 10,000 minus 3,000 plus 215. So they'd be on the hook minus 215. So they'd be on the hook for roughly, if you're going to take 3,000 out of 10,000 and 215, you're going to be around 6,800. So the insurance company is going to be on the hook for 6,800. But you still have to lose the 2,900. That's your deductible. Plus you pay the 215. And how often did you pay the 215? Well, I've been buying 215 insurance policies for the last 10 years. Oh, okay. Then did you really, I don't know. You have to decide whether that was worth it or not. Are you going to drive around without insurance? No, of course not. You're still going to buy your insurance. But the insurance company is in the business of making money. They don't do this because they don't make money. They do this to make money. Now, are they going to make money today if your market dropped $10,000 on a $24,000 investment? No. They're going to have a very bad day, right? But over the time of collecting premiums, the amount of money they've collected where you didn't crash, the market didn't crash, where you didn't crash your car, they've collected probably more than the $7,000. How many months would you have to buy insurance premiums for a $7,000 hit? So take your math. It's all statistics. So they're going to say, well, what's my risk? If the market falls $7,000, I have to cover $7,000, and I've been collecting $214 divided by $214 a month for 32 months. He's been collecting premium. That's his break even, right? So that's his break even. I just got me some tea. Okay, so that's how it all works. Now we're going to turn the tables. We're not going to be the buyer. We're going to be the seller of the insurance premium. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to say, I'm not going to buy that insurance premium. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell whoever the trader is that insurance policy. So I'm going to insure him that if the market falls down there, I'll pay the $10,000 if he'll pay me $212 a month. Are you willing to do that? You willing to take the insurance's side of the market? Because you can come in here and say, well, what's the chance Amazon's going to fall $10,000? Well, I don't think it's very high. I don't think Amazon's going to fall $10,000. Well, then why wouldn't you want to be the insurance company instead of the one buying the insurance? Because this guy's buying the insurance, he's going to have to pay a $2,913 deductible before you even have to start paying anything. All right. He's going to lose $2,913 within that, before that purple line. That market's going to have to come down $2,913 on his 100 shares before your insurance, before you even have to start helping him pay the insurance. Now, you're going to get $211, but that's all you get. That's the maximum amount of money you get. You get the premium. You're the insurance company. You get the in premium. If it duffs and the market does come tumbling down, you might have to pay out a little bit. How much would you have to pay out? The difference between the green line and where the market touched the purple line. There's $1,000. So he's going to give you $208. If the market fell $4,000 from where it's at, from where you put the insurance policy on within that time frame, if the market fell $4,000, that's the insurance policy you're giving him. He's going to give you $207. But if that market falls anywhere below that green line, the amount it falls below the green line before it hits the purple line, that's how much money you have to insure. That's how much money you have to give him. Oh, man, now suddenly the game's changed. Now you don't want to be the insurance company. You're like, oh, the insurance company was doing pretty well there for a while, but then I saw that and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be an insurance company. Okay, well, you can only insure guys who have a greater confidence that the market's going to rise. You can come down here and say, well, I am not going to insure you at that line, at that green line. I think I'm a little bit scared to insure you way up there. I'm going to insure you way down here. I'll be happy. Okay. Well, if the guy isn't going to get any insurance, all right, unless the market falls all the way down here, his deductible is $6,500, and he's buying an insurance policy that doesn't insure him for anything below the green line, and the chances of that happening are almost nothing. We've got tables. I'll show you how the tables work. So they show you where that goes, right? What the probability of that market coming down there is. And you got to use it if you're a trader too. You can look at these probability tables and say, well, probabilities of the market going down there ain't nothing, almost nothing, right? So that's why the insurance policy is so small. It's only $53. $53 in a month, all right? $53. Well, and I was hoping for a little bit more than that. Well, then you're going to have to take a little bit bigger risk. If you're going to open up an insurance company and start insuring people who trade, you're going to have to take a little bit of the risk. That's why you get paid. So you take some of their risk. So if you put that up there a little higher, well, there's $154. And I told you, you're not going to make $10,000 a month doing this. It's adding a little bit of money to the bottom line. $154, that's a good grocery run. That's probably all your groceries for a whole month or a whole week, right? Maybe not nowadays, but it depends on how many people you're feeding, right? $154, that's a few groceries. You can go fill a grocery cart with that, maybe a couple boxes of Cheerios, maybe some eggs, but you get that point, right? We're not talking about getting rich beyond your wildest dreams being an insurance company. Now, can insurance companies get rich beyond their wildest dreams? Yeah, they can if they're good at figuring out how much of a risk it is for them to take. You know, they can charge the higher premiums because they have a better idea of whether that guy's going to crash his car or not. Well, there's $385. Well, now you're talking about some groceries. All right. We can buy some groceries with $385, but you have to ensure that the market's not going to fall below that green line. Are you pretty confident with that? How good are you at predicting market direction? If you get good at predicting market direction, you can make more money. Well, I'm confident that market's going to go straight up. It's not going to go down at all. Okay, well, insure him right there, right at where it's currently trading. Well, now you're going to make $1,100. And as long as the market is above that green line, you get to keep your $1,100 because you're making an insurance policy that the market's not going to fall below that green line, and the market's currently trading at that green line. Well, that's going to be the most expensive insurance policy that there is, $1,100. All right, to insure that premium for the next month. Do people buy those insurance premiums all the time? You could sell those all day long. You could do it like that in a heartbeat. They'll give you $1,000 to put that insurance policy on. Now, what's your downside risk on this? Well, again, I mentioned that it was the difference of what the market's trading. underneath the green line when it hits that purple line, right? So $2,700. So if it fell all the way down here, well, you'd be on the hook for $2,700. Yeah, but if I did that 12 times in a year and I only lost once, I made $11,000. I made $12,000 and only lost twice. Lost $3,000. I still made, over the year's period of time, $7,000. Now you put the odds in your favor even higher. So this is not something that's like, it's not something that it's either a win or lose this month. It's over a long period of time. Insurance companies don't make their money every month. They make their money over a long period of time. Those premiums just keep stacking up and they keep coming in. Even if the guy crashes his car or if the market falls, you still get your $200. So you got to subtract that profit off of your loss on this side. All right. So wherever you put that line, now we're going to insure right here at this 100 period moving average. If it doesn't break below the 100 period moving average, I'm going to get $685. And as long as that market keeps rising in price, I'm going to get my $685 if the market hits that purple line above the green line. That's all it has to do. If the purple line hits if the market price hits the purple line above the green line, you get your $685. You don't have to pay anything out to the guy that bought the insurance. Do you want to do that business? Now, here's the good side. Let's say that the market does come down here. All right. And you decide, you know what? This market comes down. Now you got two choices here. Just like the insurance company. Well, you can pay out the $2,240 to have the guy fix the car if you want. You want to do that? You can do that. Okay, you lost $2,000 minus the $690. In this case, it's $690. Okay, so you made $690. Let's say $700. Make the numbers easy. So you made $700 on the premium, and then the market actually did fall, and you had to pay the guy $2,240. Actually, you didn't have to pay him that because that's his total loss. You only had to pay him below the green line, $1,280. All right, so you actually lost. You made $700, but you had to pay out $1,280. You might decide to do that. You might say, okay, I'm going to pay the $280. Or I'm going to pay the difference. 700 from 1287, 8, 9, 10. What's that? Another 300. That's $600. All right. So you're like, okay, I'm just going to pay him as $600, and then I'm going to sell him another insurance policy for another $700 next month, and I'll make it back in a couple months. All right. You might do that. You could do that. Or here's something else you could do. You could total his car. You're the insurance company. You have the choice. You send out that estimator, and you're like, $700. It's not going to hurt me. Go ahead. I'll pay you the $700. You go ahead and fix your car. All right. Or you could total his car, and you say, oh, sorry, dude. Your car is totaled. I ain't paying you a dime. I'm just going to take the car. Why would you take a crashed car? Well, in the physical world, you might not want to, right? Or you could say, well, I can take it down to Body Beauty Auto Body and I can fix that broken car and I can sell it for more than what I lost, right? I could get into the used car business as an insurance company. Well, in the stock market, you can do the same thing. You can like, well, I'm going to pay you your $700, your $600. All right, I lost $600 this month. I'm going to go ahead and I'll make it back next month, all right? Or the next couple months, I'll make it back. No big deal. It's not that much. Or you could total the guy's car. Now, this is what's really cool about this system. You come in here and it falls down here. Let's say it comes a little bit further. So the amount of money that you have to pay is a little bit higher. So now you have to weigh your odds. You say, well, do I want to give him the difference between the $700 I made and the $2,300? No, I don't want to give you $700. I'm just going to total your car. I'm going to take your shares. All right. I'm going to take your car. And in this case, we're going to take the shares. We can do that as the insurance company, all right, in the stock market. So now what does that mean? Well, that means you now own the guy's cars or his shares. You took the guy's car, you totaled it, you took his shares at that price. Now you own 100 shares of Amazon at that price. All you have to do is put a little body paint on it, put a little putty on it, right? Pull a few dents out, and hey, next month, that car might be worth twice what you paid for it. That's a cool idea, right? You could total the car and just take the shares. Say, I want the shares. I ain't paying you the money it costs to fix them. I want them. Give them to me. Now you're in the used car business. Now you have a used car lot and you're going to start selling Amazon shares, right? So what you do is you put that on there and now you own your Amazon shares at this price level right here. 100 shares. You're not going to feel bad about that. You got it lower than it's been for that forever, right? Put a little body putty paint on that thing, wait for it to go back up in value and sell it back out. Sell it above the green line that you bought it for. And you get to make the amount of money from where you got it at to where you're $700 down up to whatever. You get to make all that money between there. And then you can just sell your Amazon car, right? Your Amazon shares, because you got it on the insurance policy. Now you just get rid of it once you got your money back, or even hold it for a little bit longer, make a little bit more money, then sell it. Now you make more money doing that, selling used cars, because you get to total them because you're the insurance company. You total his car, just take his car and then wait for it to go back up, make more money. And then you sell it above the green line. What if it doesn't go above the green line, Lan? Well, do you think Amazon's never going to go above the green line? Of course it's going to go back up above the green line. It's a good company. That's why you only insure good companies. Don't go out and insure crappy little worthless companies that go down and down and never go up. Right? We only want to insure nice companies, good companies. That's how you decide. That's what we talked about before, right? We're only going to insure good companies. Now, here's another little cool trick that you can do. Once you own the car, right? Once you total it and you take ownership of the car, now what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you got your green line. It's no longer, you got paid $700. You had to pay, you had the drawdown, right? You had to pay the deductible. And so the deductible, but you also get the car. So now you own 100 shares of Amazon at this price level. But right up here is where you had to insure them for. So you lost the money between here and here, or temporarily. I mean, you're going to just wait. And then all that money will eventually come back to you as the market goes back up. But then you can come in here, and while you own it, because you own it, you can say, well, I'm willing to sell it. So you come in here with another option. It's called a covered call. This is why we do covered calls. You can come in here and you can say, let's just say this all happened right here, and now we own the shares back here ourselves. So let's come in here, and we're going to come in here, and we're going to sell our car at whatever price we want. We can say, well, I want to sell it right at the green line. I just want to get my money back. You can do that. You can sell it wherever you want to put that line to sell your car. I want to sell it way up here. Okay, well, if you sell it way up there from where you got it down here, and you sell it way up there, well, the market's got to go up there. But once it gets up there, it's going to sell it. You'll make $5,841. Well, you lost $2,300 plus $700, so you really only lost about $1,800, $1,500. Let's say $1,500 because you totaled the car, took their car. Now you own the car, and the car then went all the way up to here. You made $5,800 on the retracement of the car price. Price went up in the car, or in this case, the shares. But you also put in an order that promised that you would sell the car when the market hit that price, as long as it hit it within 38 days in this case. Well, if you do that and the car doesn't hit that price, let's say that Amazon doesn't go all the way up to the red line, and you don't sell your shares for the $5,800, well, okay, no big deal. They're just going to give you $315 anyway. That's a consolation price for not selling your shares. That's called a covered call. They're going to say, you're going to say, well, I got this car at a discount because it crashed, had a broken fender, and I fixed the broken fender on it. Now the car price is going back up, right? And I promise I'm going to sell it. I could sell it just at break even just to get my money back. But you know what? I think people will pay more for it. So I'm going to put it way up there, and I can say, if it sells up there, I'll sell it. I'll sell my car, and I'll get $5,841 on my car. If that doesn't sell, let's say the market only comes, let's get down here. Let's say we put that up there to get our 317. Let's say the car market price only goes to here. Well, you don't sell your shares. That's okay. I still own a car. And you're not going to sell your shares. Well, they're going to give you $317 anyway. That's like another insurance policy. So now you can collect an insurance policy if the market doesn't go up, and you can collect an insurance policy if the market does go up. And the worst thing you have to do is total the car, take the shares, wait for them to go up, and then start selling insurance policies against it going up. Ta-da! That's how you add a little bit of money to your nest egg every month, being the insurance company. You can insure the market against going down, and you can insure it against it going up. If it goes down, you total it, take the car. If it goes up, then you promise to sell it. If it doesn't sell for the price you offered, then you get the $310. How would that be every month? I'm going to open up a car lot. I'm going to put 10 cars out on the lot, and I'm going to put these really high prices on them. And if the car doesn't sell, I get paid? Yeah. But the car didn't sell. Yeah. You get paid if the car doesn't sell for the price you put on it. What kind of business is that? That's a pretty cool business, wouldn't you say? I got me a car lot, and if I put my cars on there, and then I set a really high price, and then the cars don't sell for the really high price that I put on there, I get paid anyway? That's a pretty cool business. But what if the car goes up to the price and somebody buys it from me? Well, you still get the premium, the $312? Yeah. And you sell the car for the high price? Yeah. That's like free money. Isn't that cool? All right, we're cooking with gas now, man. We're cooking with gas. I like this business. I can total cars, and then I can sell them for more money than what I bought them for. And if they don't sell, I get paid anyway. It's like taking money from candy from a baby. Should we do this business together? Let's do this. This is what I like. This is my business. This is how I've traded options for years and years and years and years and years. All right? Years and years and years and years and years. I love this. It's a little car business. You're just thinking about it like a little car business. I'm going to total the guy's car, take his shares, put a little body paint on it. I'm going to go in there, and I don't have to do any of that real stuff. I don't really have to go out and go into the garage and open up a garage, get my hands all dirty. Look at my hands. These hands haven't, oh my gosh, look at my fingernails. Nice and clean. Soft. It's kind of embarrassing, actually, right? I haven't had to actually putty a car, and I've been in the car business for 20 years. I don't putty cars. I sell them right here. And then I take them. If I can buy them at a discount, I buy them at a discount, and I get paid if I don't get to buy them. And then if they go up in value, I sell them at a really high price. And if I don't sell them, then I take premium off of them anyway. It's a car business. Think about it like a car business, and it's a totally different thing, right? It's an amazing business. So that's the way it works. Now, we're going to do some of this. I'm going to do a lot more of this. Last year, I didn't do so much of this. Why? Because I switched over to another model. I switched over to a different model. And I said, hey, look, I discovered these companies. There's two companies. One's called Yield Max, and one is called Yield Boost, Granite Shares. And these companies actually do exactly that. Granite Shares, Yield Boost, they do this side right here. Did you know that? That's what they do. They do this one down here where they sell the insurance. They sell puts down here. All right. They sell the insurance. They collect the premium. If the market comes down, they don't actually buy the car. They actually just come in here and they buy another put like that. And then what they do is if the market comes down, they have insurance that covers their insurance. That's how they do it. Now, you can do that too if you want. And we can talk about that at another time. That's a little bit different strategy. But that's how they're doing it. They're selling insurance to the guy who's trading. But then rather than taking possession of the car, they don't actually ever want the car. So what they do is they buy insurance from somebody else, not even, they go out and buy insurance, buy another option to ensure that they won't lose money on their insurance policy. It's kind of clever, right? So that's what they do. And then they said, hey, we're having such great luck at this. We're really good at this. We're going to open up a company. We're going to call it Granite Shares. And we're going to share our money with anybody who wants to invest in us. If they give us their money, we'll trade their money like this. And then we'll just take 1% of everything we make. And then they can have everything that we make over and above the 1%. And people are like, oh, they're falling all over themselves to send them money, right? So that's what this is. That's what this is. That's this model that I did. Now, Yield Max is the other side of this. Yield Max does this side. They're like, oh, you know what? Hey, we got some shares, and we bought the car. We own the car, and we're gonna say that if the car sells for way up here, we're gonna collect this premium 317, and then we'll sell our car, and we'll get the profit from there. So Yield Max actually makes the money from here to here, plus they get the premium over here. Now, they might not make all the money from here to here because the market might not go all the way up there. Might only go up this far. Well, they make that money too. So if the market goes up strong, Yield Max makes a lot more money than Granite shares. But if the market just goes sideways, Granite shares makes more money. All right. So you'll have times where Yield Max will make more money because they get to share in the upside potential. And you'll have times where Granite shares makes more money because the market doesn't go up at all. It just goes maybe down a little bit. And then Yield Max has to lose a little bit of money, right? They lose money. And so the premiums have to cover the losses. So Yield Max does best when the market goes up, and they do less good when the market goes down, right? They don't lose money. They don't make money, but they don't lose as much as everybody else because they still have the premium helping them cover the downside. But Granite shares, they make the same amount of money either way, unless the market goes way down here. If the way down here, then they have to pay their deductible, which is the difference between the red line where they sold it and the green line where they bought their insurance. Okay. That's how good. So you got two companies that do different sides of this model that we can do both sides of. All right. So when we trade it, we're going to do both sides. We'll do the put side. And then if we total the car, we get the shares. If the shares go up, we sell the shares at a high price. And if we don't actually get to sell them, then we get to collect the premium anyway. Wait till the market does go up to the price that we want. And we just keep collecting premium until it does. And then we sell the car. All right. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it on our own. Or you can just say, you know what, I don't want to buy and sell cars. I just want to give my money to Yield Max and Granite shares and let them buy and sell the cars and then just share their profits with me. Okay, you can do that. That's what I did last year, and we worked really hard. I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm going to keep doing it because I think letting Granite shares and Yield Max trade some of my money, that's a pretty good idea. But I want to do some more of that. I stopped kind of doing that myself last year, and I like doing it. I want to do some more of it. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do some of it myself. I want to do it myself. I like it. So last year where I stopped, I'm going to start again. But last year, just giving my money to Yield Max and Granite shares, those guys did me pretty good. They did 64% annualized return. Last year, I gave them $476,000. That's how much I started with. And at the end of the year, I had $305,000 more than I gave them, which was 64% annualized return. So I gave them $476,000. They gave me $305,000 for letting them use my money to trade with. They got to keep 1%. I got the rest. I got the 99%. And so I got $305,000. And now that's just on these. These are the ones that I ended up with. I actually traded a whole bunch more of this. This just happens to be the current portfolio. So on my current portfolio, that's where I'm at. I actually had Tesla. I had a whole bunch of stuff. And then that's another thing I wanted to show to you just real quick. I know we're running out of time. But see this? This is my notes that I took because I had to do tax loss harvesting. You'd think I'd be a little bit more professional but I didn't. I just wrote it on a sheet of paper like this. So I also had Beatty, I had Biddo, I had Chippy, I had Coney, I had Misty, I had Soxy, I had Snowy, I had Tesla. So I also had a number of others in this list, and I took them out because I had to sell them to do my tax loss harvesting. All right. So I get back into some of these. Biddy, Biddo, Chippy, Coney, Soxy, and Misty. I can't get back into those until January 18th. And I better give it a day or two just so it's not like, oh, well, you did it right on the exact date and it needed to be one day later or you didn't get your loss. So I got to wait. I wait till like December 19th or January 19th. It's got to be a full 30 days. So January 19th today is January 13th. 19th is a Monday. I will probably wait till like Wednesday just to give them a couple day buffers to make sure that they're not ignoramuses. All right. So like next Wednesday, I can start putting money back into Biddy, Biddo, Chippy, Soxy, Misty, and Coney. And then I can't put any money back into Snoy or Tesla. And that's the one that's really pissed me off. I want to be in Tesla, but I can't put any money back into Tesla until probably until the first week of February. That's going to suck. All right. So though I'm held out of those. Now you're like, why are you held out of those, Lan? That doesn't make sense. Why can't you put your money in those markets? Because I took my money out of them for tax loss harvesting. What do you mean? I don't get that. Well, you know what? That's where this picture comes into play. See this? This is a board game. This is a board game. It's called the stock market. And see all these guys who are playing the stock market? It's a game you have to play. And you know, whenever you play a game, you open up the box and you lift up the lid and you look at the back of the lid and you read the back of the lid and there's all the rules on how you play the game. Stupid rules sometimes, but that's how they play the game, right? If you want to play the game, you have to read the rules. One of the rules is tax loss harvesting. And you read the back of the box, it says, oh, you got to do some tax loss harvesting and you got to wait 30 days. If you take your money out, you can't cross go. You can't roll the dice. You can't spin the wheel for 30 days if you do your tax loss harvesting. Okay, that's part of the rules. Why? Well, because it's part of the rules. It doesn't have to make sense. Nothing makes sense. They just do it because they don't want you to make money. It's part of the rules. It's just rules. You know, when you go to Washington, D.C. and you're a congressman, you have to make rules. So, you know, you're not famous if you don't make a rule. You got to make a rule. If I went to Congress, my job would be to cut all the rules I could, get rid of all the laws as possibly as many as I could. Take all these lawmakers. That's their job. When they go to Washington, oh, I got to be famous, and the way I get famous is to pass a law. I got to pass another law. We got more laws than we know what to do with, and that's what this is. It's just another law. It's some wise guy in Washington was like, well, let's pass a law that says you have to have tax loss harvesting. You can't get back in for 30 days. They put that on the back of the box. Okay, well, that's the way it works. So you got to put it on the back of the box, and you got to play the game. If you want to play the game, you got to know the rules. And the rules are you can't get back in for 30 days. That's the name of the game. Stupid rule, but that's the way they play the game. All right, some wise guy made the rules up, and it wasn't me. I wouldn't have that rule if I was playing the game. All right, guys, that's what I got for you today. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Kind of run out of time. And just to let you know real quick, the software I use to do all this little fancy math here is Track and Trade.
Okay, this is the software I use. It's called Track and Trade. They've got two versions, one for stocks, one for futures. This is the website, trade.com. This is where you download a free 2-week trial. No credit card required. Okay, go download your copy, then come back here, follow along, and I'll show you all my settings.
All right, I know all we're doing is we're trading options. And you're like, options are hard. No, options are not hard. Options are a mentality brain change. It's how you think about them. That's what makes them hard or easy. What we just talked about here, very easy if you think about it in the way that we can put it into context. All right. So if you just can stay in that context of thinking of options, then it's not hard. Options aren't hard. They're easy. Oh, I can total the car or I can pay the guys to fix his bumper. Which would you prefer? Oh, I'm going to total the car so that I can own the car so that when the car goes back up in value, I can make money. And then I can use this other option. I'm going to sell the car at this price. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. That's a covered call. Oh, covered calls are hard. No, they're not. You put that in there, and then you're going to sell the car at that price. If it doesn't sell, you get to collect the $317. If it does sell, you get to sell the car and you get the price you asked for on the car. This is very easy. Very easy if you just get the right context and you're like, Lan, I need help with this. Okay, well, subscribe to the channel, come back, ring the little bell so you get notified. I do these classes. I teach these classes at the university. And so this is the lab for my university classes. Just keep coming back to the labs. If you can't make the university class, that's fine. Maybe you live in Zimbabwe and you're just going to do it from Zimbabwe. That's okay. You can trade options from Zimbabwe and just come to the labs. You don't have to go to the class at the university. That's just a bonus, right? That's where we learn the academic side of this stuff. But then we're going to just sit here and practice doing all this stuff here. And we're going to do it together. And I'm here to help you. So let's just get your first one started. Go get the right tools, go get the software, and let's start putting on practice versions, okay? That comes with a demo version. It's free, gives you $100,000. You can practice. Put them on, see how it works. See if you can make money at it. See if you can total a car or two. See if you can't own a car or two. Sell them at a lot higher price. See if you can't collect some premium. Do it all in a simulated environment. And then when you feel more comfortable and confident, you can do it yourself with real money. You can have 10 of them on that are fake, and you can have one that's real. And eventually you'll have 10 that are on that are real and one that's fake. You'll just kind of make that smooth and natural transition as you go through the process of learning how to do this. It's not hard, and I'm going to be here for you. If you have questions, let me know. You can put them in the comments. You can send me an email. You can write me an email. You can call me on the phone. Anything you want. I'm here to help you. All right, let's make this happen for you. It's working well for me. Made a couple $100,000 last year. That was a good amount of money for me. I was happy with it. All right, and you can do the same. All right, we'll see you tomorrow afternoon, where we'll do some day trading. For those of you who want to do a little day trading to fund this account, maybe you need an outside source of income to fund this account. So we'll do a little day trading, take that money, put it over here, start selling insurance. Okay, see you tomorrow. Afternoon, 1 o'clock, power hour, Mountain Standard Time.
All right, that wraps it up for today. If you got something out of this, do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone else who's trading or learning.
Hey, don't forget to tell them to subscribe to Pitt News Magazine.
Oh yeah, definitely subscribe to Pitt News Magazine. You'll thank us later.